Hi,
It sure
everyone.
did.
Thank you guys so much for supporting Haley and I. I just wanted to kind of shout out to all of our friends and followers because we've had some good traction on our conversations. It sounds like, and it feels like we're making an impact on other
Yeah.
people in conversations, which is what we do it for. So thank you for passing along our YouTube channel and passing along our videos, and we're getting some great responses. So thank you guys very much for that. And Haley, of course, thanks up to you for doing this with me because you always bring such value and I love it.
Well, awesome. Yeah, I'm very appreciative and for this opportunity. And here's the thing, like we just kind of started this to have fun, and it's been amazing the amount of like positive feedback and how many people we're impacting just with these leadership type of conversations, because I think that these are the things that people are thinking about all the time anyways, and they just don't know how to communicate these things out. They don't know how to have these types of conversations. They're thinking about them, but they think that maybe it's only them thinking about it. In reality, everybody is thinking about this. And so that leads into our topic today, which actually kind of correlates with what we talked about last week. Last week, we talked about, being in an environment in your workplace where you kind of are at a point where, do you want to leave? Do you want to grow? Are you ready to move on? If the change isn't happening for you in the workplace, or maybe you feel like you're just playing too small and you've gotten very comfortable playing small. Well, on the opposite spectrum of that, what happens when we realize that we're playing too small? Maybe we're feeling something inside of us. There's some anxiety happening, or there's some thoughts that are coming up of like, I know I am confident that I can do more, that I can show up, that I can be better.
Yeah.
But man, I just feel like really guilty about that. I feel
Yeah.
really guilty about that.
And it's interesting because I think the hardest place to be psychologically to make a move is when things are good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not toxic, it's not bad. It's fine, it's good. And then it's like, but is it great? I'll have people say to me, well, why should I fix something if it's not broken? It's good. That's fine. But, are we meant to live in this kind of good, mediocre, fine place forever? Or are we really supposed to continue to strive for something greater? And I think our innate human need is to go for greatness and to develop and to grow and to do that. That's where we get fulfillment and joy. And yet society maybe, or our conditioning, or how we were raised, or the people around us aren't going for their greatness. And so we feel bad, guilty, or almost like we're going to be an outcast or looked at in a negative way for not being grateful for what we have to go look for something more. And that's what people will actually say is, well, I feel really like I should just be grateful that I have this, this income, this career, this situation. Why am I needing more? Why can't I just be happy with what I have? And the question is, why do we even ask ourselves that question? Like, why do we even ask ourselves, why shouldn't I just be happy for what I have? And that's a conditioned response, isn't it?
It is a conditioned response. And actually, I was just talking about this with somebody yesterday. Here's the thing, as humans beings, we're still caught up in this mindset that's thousands of years old, this tribal mindset of we have to be liked. We want to fit in. We don't want to be an outcast. And so when we're surrounding ourselves with people who are at the same level, and they don't want to go above that level because they don't want to be an outcast. And here we are saying, I want to strive for more. I want to show up and be better. I am confident that I can do that. We limit ourselves because we're so afraid of the rejection that's going to happen in that group. So it holds us back, right? It holds us back because we don't want to stand out. We don't want to be different. And so I'm here today to tell you to do it anyways, because every moment that you spend limiting yourself and keeping yourself small, you are missing out on opportunities to impact other people's lives. Listen, you're absolutely here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. You are here to make an impact on someone's life. And when you're playing small, that's what's causing your anxiety. That's what's causing you to feel sick all the time. It's because you're not living up to who you were destined to be. So step up, show up, shine brightly. And this is what I told the guy I was talking to yesterday. I said, if people are uncomfortable with how bright you're shining, tell them to get some sunglasses.
I love it. Here's the thing. We hear this, but we don't act on it. In exactly the same way that you just said, when we play small, we're not impacting, we're not making the difference, we're not doing what we were meant to do, but also we're not empowering other people to go for their greatness. We think that they're going to be mad at us and judge us, and we're going to be an outcast, and they're all over here happy with what they have, and we're going to go for something, and they're like, why do you think you should do that? Number one, we might think that's what they think, and it's our mind telling us something not true. And maybe they do think that for a minute, but honestly, what will really happen is after that minute, they're going to see you going for your greatness, and it's going to inspire them to do it too.
Yes.
Like, don't you want to be that person, that inspires other people and says, I'm just going for it. I hope you do too. Instead of, I'm just going to stay small with you because then we're all going to be comfortable. But it's a tough spot. I would love for you, Haley, to just really quickly share an example, because there was a conditioned response that you would talk to somebody about, and you can use a different example if you want, but to keep it confidential. But regardless, it's like, if you've been told in your past life, maybe as a child, maybe at school, maybe even with a significant other, maybe with your friend group from college. I mean, I know people who really literally have been conditioned by these people who have been so important to them in their life. And it's literally what makes them now think that they should not want more. And it will literally make them stop in their tracks for opportunity, limit their income. And they know it's actually doing it. Like, they can see that it is, and yet it is so difficult to get over that.
Yeah. So actually, and that's a really good point. So a lot of times it's our conditioned responses that keep us limited. And so in this example, I was working alongside somebody who, after some very deep self-reflection, came to the realization that when they were little,
Mhm.
and they were sitting around at the dinner table, um, this person's parents were serving some hamburgers,
Mhm.
and they were like, well, I don't want hamburgers. I really want a steak tonight. And the parents turned to them and said, why can't you just be happy with the hamburgers? Why do you always want steak? And so from
Mm.
that moment on, this person looked at everything in life of like, why can't I just be grateful for what I have? Why do I always have to want more and more and more? And so even now in their business life, they
Mhm.
feel guilty. They feel guilty when they want to pursue something greater or go for a job that pays more or want more opportunities,
Mhm.
because their parents made them feel guilty, or they
Mhm.
allowed their parents to make them feel guilty rather. Um,
Mhm.
for wanting more. And I thought, wow, what an amazing aha.
Mhm.
This person is so inspirational. I'm so glad that they had the courage to share that story, because sometimes we don't even realize these conversations that happen when we're children and
Yeah.
how they impact us through our entire life. And
Yeah.
so here we are limiting ourselves to please other people. And that's really what it's about.
And I wanted you to share that because I believe that there are people watching that are going to have an aha with that, because they haven't really come to that realization yet, but they're going to go, oh crap. Yeah, I do feel bad or guilty, or I feel like I'm the only one in my family who's always trying to do more. And I feel like I'm being judged or looked at like I'm greedy, or I need, I can't be happy with what I have.
Hmm.
The reality is that going for your greatness has nothing to do with not being grateful.
Hmm.
It's just, that's an idea that we have, that is, it must mean we're not grateful when we're going for something more. It's the exact opposite. If you're truly grateful for what you have and you embrace everything in your life, you're going to naturally attract more of it, and probably without even wanting to have more success, right?
Yes.
What we focus on expands. So probably you're being super grateful, and that's why you're seeing other opportunities, and you might have that mindset. So we've got to just realize what might be holding us back. When Haley shared that with me, I've had conversations in coaching with a couple people very specifically. I can remember these conversations, which is, I'm the outcast in my family. I'm the one that had to be the entrepreneur. I'm the one that's trying to build wealth. And they're just wondering, like, why do you have to do that? Why do you need the money? And it's about security and freedom. And life choices and experiences and what I want to give my kids. And should I feel guilty about that? But because I think differently and I'm allowing myself to think differently, I feel judged and I feel like they don't love me the same. And so then I start to not talk about that with them. And then I start to play smaller. And then I play smaller because of that. And then I resent it. And then I'm unhappy. And then I'm anxious or I'm agitated. And that's because there's something stirring in me and I am not allowing it to come to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think with everything that you're saying, it's just resonating with me so much because here's the thing, we all feel these feelings sometimes, and we have probably all been in a situation where we've played small um to fit in. And it's not
Yeah.
serving us, it's not serving anyone around us when we do that. We're actually not helping anybody by playing small. So
Yeah.
here's the thing, if any of you listening are interested in exploring this a bit more, reach out to Cari or I, because we are
Yeah.
so happy to have a conversation about what limiting beliefs you have upon yourself right now. And if we could just help you to break that away, imagine the weight that will be lifted
Yeah.
off of you when you start living authentically to who you are and stop feeling guilty for wanting more. So reach out to us, be a part of these talks every week,
Yeah.
subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's why we're here, is just to have these conversations and hopefully it makes an impact on someone's life.
Absolutely. Super grateful for you guys. Grateful for you, Haley, today. Have a great rest of your week and we'll see you back here next Tuesday.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.